about fuel having been increased the rate, it is rates. But on the report, practically we needed to be having a table that is really that can convince me, a layperson, to accept that this is the earlier quote done by the contractor and this is the current quote now regarding the increase of fuel, so that we are all at the same page. So next time, maybe when we are having a meeting, we need to have new quotations. We need to have old quotation and a new quotation from the contractors for us to believe that indeed it is their challenge that have got now the difference in the fuel increment. Secondly, when I looked at the projects here, Right Honourable Minister, according to me, it appears there is a very big serious gap in supervision and monitoring. I don't know how you're going to convince us here that the engineering team and monitoring teams are really doing adequate work on ground. And I would like to find out from the minister, are you not hiring a consultancy firms to support you in supervision? Because I once worked with a contractor and the government was the biggest client by then. They had given us consulting team as well to support the ministry. So I see these complicated projects may need also a consulting firm to support the ministry in supervision. I think basically that's what I wanted to raise, and I would like to hear from the minister.
You realize that there is a lot of revision of revising by 2 years. It's supposed to be like 2024, 2026. All of them, almost, I think, all of them have been revised already. Time of finishing. I am a little suspicious. Why? We know. I mean, I would expect at least one lot to be revised. But if all is happening, can we say maybe because we are a little conscious of corruption issues, do we think that this is coming in? Why are some money being diverted? So I think it is something that we need to look into. Why? And you realize that the project has been given 2 years, then it is revised by 2 years. At least it will be revised by 5 months or even 1 year.
Bridge connects very many people in terms of business. So I am asking the minister, what action has the ministry taken against underperforming constructors? Because in Karamoja, it is of recent when they saw that I was raising the problem of the bridge, is when I saw the contractors going to the bridge, yet the bridge is under the government. And when I told them in the district, I am going to bring Balam, everyone was quaking. And now we keep blaming the government that the government is not giving us money for the bridges. So another question is, who is, like the way my colleague has, the same question my colleague raised, who is the supervising consultant stock engineer, and what reports have they submitted about the delays of the bridges?
We can ask the team to clarify on any matters, to give further and better particulars if we need any. I'd like to know from you, Honourable Minister. I see amongst the challenges, you cite the issue of fuel shortages from June of this year. Okay, exacerbated by that. This US-Iran war is something that has probably not been on for a full financial year. So the issue of fuel shortages and citing the US-Iran war, vis-a-vis the period you give, I think you cited 2015 as the start year for these projects. Isn't that quite so much time for us to look at the fuel shortages in the recent US?
You'll appreciate that weather is something which is very uncertain. And when you say that we have known the weather patterns. The weather which affected this bridge in 2021-2023, a model, was unprecedented. The Lake Victoria was full. When Lake Victoria is full, the water goes on to Lake Choga and onto the River Nile. And when all that is full, it's very big flooding. So the flooding in 2021-23 was unprecedented. Nobody could have predicted it. So when this flooding happened, the design which had been planned for Amodo, the ministry realized it would not manage the floods. So they had to go back to the drawing board, because if they had gone on with that design, it was futile, because the whole area was submerged. So they had to go back to the drawing.
In my district, Kriano, whenever Karuma Bridge is under maintenance, we always have a lot of congestion or jam at the other ferry, Sin Port. And I have a request to make. Because when President came to commission Karuma Dam, he pledged to work on the road starting from Katulikire, Tunda, Atura. And he also promised us a ferry. I would suggest, or I would request, through you, Honorable Minister, I would request government to work on that road so that whenever you are working on Karuma, we don't have a lot of congestion on the other side. People can as well use Katulikire, Tunda, Atura.
So in the procurement processes, you haven't told us somehow that during this process, at times you actually get weak contractors, because you can't rule this out. Because there is a shortage, you go out into the market to source these contractors. Then during that process, at the end of the process, you yield weak contractors who are not necessarily up to the task. How shall we proceed? It's not an easy question, but now we need to watch out. Perhaps in our procurement processes, we'll be recommending that you do a good pre-qualification.
I've got an experience in my constituency where they're laying water pipes. Yes, they're laying these water pipes. Players come in and they give a rate that is really not palatable. The damage they are doing to the land. Are you trying to solve that problem? What is the issue? Is it the rate of compensation? I don't somehow understand. Maybe you could that. Let us know also where. And I was a bit impressed about but we need to bring in more local control. In most countries now, you travel around the world, they're really encouraging the local control. I would also like the ministry to tell us, what are you doing to encourage more local? Do you have any specific incentives to bring them on board? That would be very nice for us to know. And the issue of fuel, some of these issues are not issues that can be avoided. However, I was very impressed when I was reading the whole yesterday regarding the issue of fuel shortages in Uganda. Apparently, our fuel reserves in Niger are cushioned in this country. Better extent regarding the fuel shortage. And we definitely need more fuel shortages. Various reasons